they went ahead and went along with the process, and we started implementing what I would call my approach. Fast forward to North Mississippi in 2012. Let me just read through some of the things that were going on. We had restored the public pride in the community. We reinstated our Blue Cross contract. The CON exemption had been rescinded, taken off of the books. The non-for-profit lawsuit had been dropped. Servant leadership had been ingrained into the culture of the organization. The employee satisfaction was actually the #1 hospital in the database that we used, which was 750 companies. So we were actually being compared to hospitals and other companies. So out of 750, we were the number one business in that survey. And also had restored trust and leadership. That was at the 99th percentile by 2012. The physician satisfaction had gone from lower 10th percentile to the top 10th decile in the country. Customer satisfaction was at the 90th percentile relatively overall. Profitability had improved, as you talked about, 132%, 20 million to 47 million. We had increased our cash balance from about 250 million to over $525 million. We had a 5-point market share increase, which every point of market share is a huge increase. So 5 points was a lot. And then we'd also become the first two-time Baldrige Award recipient in healthcare in the nation. And so you might ask yourself, well, how did all this happen? And the answer is culture and employee engagement. Fortune magazine, which many of you may have heard of, produces a list every year of the best companies to work for in America. It's an extremely challenging and rigorous process of finding out who are the top 100 companies. And that's not just healthcare, that's any company in the United States. And there's tens of thousands, I think 80,000 companies in the United States, and they pick 100 that are the top in the country. And at Baptist Hospital, we were actually on the list for 6 years in a row, not 3. So that was a pretty remarkable achievement. But I want to read you a few quotes. They for some reason in 2015, they commissioned a study of the top 100 hospitals and top 100 companies. What made them special? What made them different? How are they on this list? Many of them, many years in a row. And what they found out was, and I'm going to do some quotes from the article, the secret to attracting and holding on to the world's best talent isn't about the perks, it's about the relationships. All right, so keep that word in mind, relationships. You realize by now that we're talking about culture, the way that people in management behave from moment to moment without being told. More employers are seeing the difference and the connection of culture and employee engagement and the relationships to workplace greatness and business success. Yet as employers increasingly grasp the importance, they also have no clue where to begin in creating that culture. And then the last line in the article is my favorite one. We know 100 companies that hope that they never figure it out. So, being semi-retired, I have lots of time, to do other things other than spend time with our relatively new grandson. I guess he's 3 years old now, and our new golden doodle, Dudley, who is a puppy and thinks that he's still a puppy, and he's a lot of work. So we have a lot of activities and things that are going on, but I've also had opportunity to really delve into research and doing things and studies around servant leadership and corporate culture. And so as I started that process, I just Googled corporate culture. And the #1 hit that came up was from a company called Investopedia.com. And here's their definition. Corporate culture refers to the beliefs and behaviors that determine how a company's employees and managers act. Often corporate culture, and this is the kicker for me, is implied, not expressly defined, and develops organically over time from the cumulative traits of the people that it hires. Now think about those last few words. It's basically how I sum it up is that their definition of corporate culture is that this is what happens. And something as important as culture in an organization shouldn't be something that just happens. It ought to be something that's actively created first of all, but then actively nurtured as you go through a process of changing the culture in the organization. And in my opinion, corporate culture or culture shouldn't just happen. It has to be systematic, it has to be aligned, it has to be deployed throughout the entire organization, and you have to have ongoing cycles of improvement. And then I added in here also with passion. There has to be a lot of passion from leadership about developing that type of a culture. So how do you create a great culture? These are the secrets. The first one is having a servant culture. And those are the things that I call the what's. And those are the things that I just went through about the mission, the vision, values, critical success factors, measuring and communicating what's important, communication, engaging the employees, leadership development, and then reward and recognition. And I call those the what's. Those are the things that we do. And the second part of developing a great culture is servant leadership. Now, servant leadership is how we do the what's, and I call those the hows. And the characteristics of servant leadership, of a servant leader, are humility, patience, kindness, respectfulness, selflessness, honesty, commitment, forgiveness, ego directed toward team accomplishment, and a results orientation, and a no excuses environment. So those are the characteristics and the hows of what we do. And we actually developed at North Mississippi a very rigorous process of helping our leaders develop those skills. Because you know there's an age-old argument about whether leaders are made or born. And you know, there again, if somebody asks me questions, are they made or born, the answer would be yes. But there are natural-born leaders. There are people that just get it. They understand how to be great leaders. And unfortunately, some of those people are bad people, like Hitler, Mussolini, Stalin, Attila the Hun. They were natural-born leaders, but none of us would want to work for them, right? I mean, it just wouldn't be a lot of fun working for Stalin or Mussolini, I can imagine. So we in business, if we rely, we need lots of leaders. And if we rely on the fact that we hope to get some natural-born leaders, then we're not going to have enough leaders to take care of what we need. So we have to develop those skills with our people, and we developed a very rigorous process of developing those skills. And if you're interested, I can go through those in the question and answer period.